Hello world, hello John. This video was supposed to be something completely off the wall and fun, but unfortunately I threw my back out again, and I've spent most of my time lately trying to rest and get back off the cane. So instead I will expand on an experience I had recently and the process of thought it took me on. So my wife and I were going out Friday night, and we were going to see the second round of an event called Cage Match, and it's an improvisational comedy competition held at the local improv theater. We were making a point to go see this one since we saw them all last year as well, and a handful of the competitors are either pants-pinning staff or pants-pinning friends. On the drive there, we approached a red light. This particular intersection is one of those silly ones that splits into two lanes right before the light and then back into one lane shortly after the light. Being that there were no cars in the left-hand lane that were turning, I stayed in the proper through lane. It was the right-hand lane that ends, so the folks that put themselves in the right lane are in charge of merging safely, and I have the right of way. As I sat there for the mere moments before the light changed in my favor, a large Ford SUV chose to occupy the right-hand lane. There was only one reason for this, based on the situation. You see, I was the only car at the light, and I did not have my turn signal on. I was clearly going straight. This person is one of the so many that think driving is always a race. They believe that somehow, being behind someone, even if that someone is actually speeding, is losing the race. Then we come to that moment, that defining moment where I get to choose, do I refrain from stooping to their level and being just as ignorant as the person next to me? It is the safer route. It risks nothing. It's the smart route. Or do I gun it and make sure that they can't do what they plan to do and just drive along smugly, knowing that I won this round? I would love to say that I made the right decision, that I stood above this person, shrugging off their stupidity. Instead, I participated in their stupidity. I accelerated quickly. Now, mind you, I wasn't flooring it. However, they did. They decided that despite this car, our car, being obviously faster than a 15-year-old Ford gas guzzler, they were going to try to race us, dangerously, just to get in front of us. It was at that point where I should have called it off. Clearly, this person has no regard to road safety, no regard for the lives of the people around them. Once again, I chose the wrong path. I decided I would just open up the car's potential and shove them back behind us, which I did. There is never a day where a tank that gets 2 miles to the gallon will ever beat our lightweight, sporty Subaru family sedan. Once I successfully overtook this person and they had no choice but to fall in behind us, I then slowed down considerably, so much so that I was actually going 1 or 2 miles under the speed limit. I wish I could say that's where it ended. Obviously, I have now angered this idiot, and they are riding our back bumper hard. And at this point, I was smug. I had shown them who's boss, and now was purposefully irritating them just to further hammer my point home. Now, the area we were heading towards is a high foot traffic area of the city, one of the historic neighborhoods with old shops, diners, theaters, and more. Naturally, they have a much lower speed limit than your normal throughways. There is one section of this that is the transition between the higher and lower speeds that most people just ignore. They ignore it because there's a major intersection before the bulk of this little district that limit changes for. However, as I always do, I lowered my speed to the proper speed for this area because I know full well how many kids walk through, how many crosswalks people use, how many cars throw their doors open to get out without checking for traffic. But this time, I dropped to even slower. I dropped to 5 miles an hour slower, just to be spiteful. When we arrived at the traffic light, they dangerously hopped the curb in the small parking lot of the business on the corner and blasted out on the road into a turn, disappearing into their own self-centered world. As I recalled this story, meaning to share this harrowing tale of dealing with an idiot on the road again, I got to thinking, what did I accomplish? Did I teach that driver a valuable lesson on courtesy and safety on the road? Did I express my distaste of dangerous behaviors on the road? No, I really didn't. The fact of the matter is that woman will, at most, just complain to the people she knows about some jerk on the road who did all these things to annoy her. She will paint me out to be the bad guy, even though all I was doing was attempting to prevent her from being a jerk. But in the end, I was the jerk. Not that she didn't deserve it, but all I accomplished was risking the safety of my wife and myself and any pedestrians who may have been nearby. In the end, I accomplished nothing. In the end, I made the wrong decision. But in the moment, I just couldn't stop myself from it. I didn't see reason. I just saw wrongdoing that I had to punish. I didn't see anything beyond myself and my vigilante justice I was inflicting upon another. But I was no better than she was. If there's a high road to take it. That's the best advice I can give from this situation. That's all I got, John. Go, sleep, we'll talk soon.